Act 1, Scene 5. Ministry of Magic, Harry's office. Hermione sits with piles of paper in front of her in Harry's messy office. She is slowly sorting through it all. Harry enters in a rush. He is bleeding from a graze on his cheek. Hermione, how did it go? Harry, it was true. Hermione, Theodore not. Harry, in custody. Hermione, and the time turner itself. Harry reveals the time turner. It shines out alluringly. Is it genuine? Does it work? It's not just an hour reversal turner, it goes back further. Harry, we don't know anything yet. I wanted to try it out there and then, but wiser heads prevailed. Hermione, well, now we have it. Harry, and you're sure you want to keep it? Hermione, I don't think we've a choice. Look at it. It's entirely different to the time turner I had. Harry, dry apparently wizardry has moved on since we were kids. Hermione, you're bleeding. Harry checks his face in the mirror. He dabs at the wound with his robes. Don't worry, it'll go with the scar. Harry, with a grin, what you doing in my office, Hermione? Hermione, I was anxious to hear about Theodore not and thought I'd check whether you'd kept your promise and were on top of your paperwork. Harry, turns out I'm not. Hermione, no. You're not. Harry, how can you get any work done in this chaos? Harry waves his wand and the papers and books transform into neat piles. Harry smiles. Harry, no longer chaotic. Hermione, but still ignored. You know, there's some interesting stuff in here. There are mountain trolls riding grabhorns through Hungary. There are giants with winged tattoos on their backs walking through the Greek seas, and the werewolves have gone entirely underground. Harry, great, let's get out there. I'll get the team together. Hermione, Harry, I get it. Paperwork's boring. Harry, not for you. Hermione, I'm busy enough with my own. These are people and beasts that fought alongside Voldemort in the Great Wizarding Wars. These are allies of darkness. This, combined with what we have just unearthed at Theodore Knott's, could mean something. But if the head of magical law enforcement isn't reading his files. Harry, but I don't need to read it, I'm out there, hearing about it. Theodore Knott, it was me who heard the rumors about the time turner and me who acted upon it. You really don't need to tell me off. Hermione looks at Harry, this is tricky. Hermione, do you fancy a toffee? Don't tell Ron. Harry, you're changing the subject. Hermione, I truly am. Toffee. Harry, can't. We're off sugar at the moment. Beat. You know, you can get addicted to that stuff. Hermione, what can I say? My parents were dentists, I was bound to rebel at some point. 40 is leaving it a little late, but you've just done a brilliant thing. You're certainly not being told off, I just need you to look at your paperwork every now and again, that's all. Consider this a gentle nudge from the Minister for Magic. Harry hears the implication in her emphasis, he nods. How's Ginny? How's Albus? Harry, it seems I'm as good at fatherhood as I am at paperwork. How's Rose? How's Hugo? Hermione, with a grin, you know, Ron says he thinks I see more of my secretary, Ethel, she indicates off, than him. Do you think there's a point where we made a choice, Parent of the Year or Ministry Official of the Year? Go on. Go home to your family, Harry, the Hogwarts Express is about to depart for another year, enjoy the time you've got left, and then come back here with a fresh head and get these files read. Harry, you really think this could all mean something? Hermione, with a smile, it could do. But if it does, we'll find a way to fight it, Harry. We always have. She smiles once more, pops a toffee in her mouth, and leaves the office. Harry is left alone. He packs his bag. He walks out of the office and down a corridor. The weight of the world upon his shoulders. He walks, tired, into a telephone box. He dials 62442. Telephone box, farewell, Harry Potter. He ascends away from the Ministry of Magic. Act 1, Scene 6. Harry and Ginny Potter's house. Albus can't sleep. He is sitting at the top of the stairs. He hears voices below him. We hear Harry's voice before he's revealed. An elderly man in a wheelchair is with him, Amos Diggory. Harry, Amos, I understand, I really do, but I'm only just home and. Amos, I've tried to make appointments at the ministry. They say, Mr. Diggory, we have an appointment for you, let's see, in 2 months. I wait. Very patiently. Harry, and coming to my house in the middle of the night, when my kids are just getting ready for their new year at school, it's not right. Amos, 2 months pass, I receive an owl, Mr. Diggory, I'm awfully sorry, but Mr. Potter has been called away on urgent business, we're going to have to shift things around a little, are you available for an appointment in, let's see, in 2 months' time? And then it repeats again, and again. You're shutting me out. Harry, of course I'm not. It's just, I'm afraid, as head of the Department of Magical Law Enforcement I'm afraid I'm responsible. Amos, there's plenty you're responsible for. Harry, sorry. Amos, my son, Cedric, you do remember Cedric, don't you? Harry, remembering Cedric hurts him. Yes, I remember your son. His loss. Amos, Voldemort wanted you. Not my son. You told me yourself, the words he said were, kill the spare. The spare. My son, my beautiful son, was a spare. Harry, Mr. Diggory, as you know, I sympathize with your efforts to memorialize Cedric, but. Amos, a memorial. I am not interested in a memorial, not anymore. I am an old man, an old dying man, and I am here to ask you, beg you, to help me get him back. Harry looks up, astonished. Harry, get him back. Amos, that's not possible. Amos, the ministry has a time turner, does it not? Harry, the time turners were all destroyed. Amos, the reason I'm here with such urgency is I've just heard rumor, strong rumor, that the ministry seized an illegal time turner from Theodore Nott and has kept it for investigation. Let me use that time turner. Let me have my son back. There's a long, deadly pause. Harry is finding this extremely difficult. We watch as Albus moves closer, listening. Harry, Amos, playing with time. You know we can't do that. Amos, how many people have died for the boy who lived? I'm asking you to save one of them. This hurts Harry. He thinks, his face hardens. Harry, whatever you've heard, the Theodore Nott story is a fiction. Amos, I'm sorry. Delphi, hello. Albus jumps a mile as Delphi, a 20-something, determined-looking woman, is revealed, looking through the stairs at him. Oh. Sorry. Didn't mean to startle. I used to be a big stair listener myself. Sitting there. Waiting for someone to say something the tiniest bit interesting. Albus, who are you? Because this is sort of my house and. Delphi, I'm a thief, of course. I'm about to steal everything you own. Give me your gold, your wand, and your chocolate frogs. She looks fierce and then smiles. Either that or I'm Delphine Diggory. She ascends the stairs and sticks out a hand. Delphi. I look after him, Amos, well, I try. She indicates Amos. And you are? Albus, rueful grin Albus. Delphi, of course. Albus Potter. So Harry is your dad? That's a bit wow, isn't it? Albus, not really. Delphi, have I just put my foot in it? It's what they used to say about me at school. Delphine Diggory, there isn't a hole she couldn't dig herself into. Albus, they do all sorts with my name too. Pause. She looks at him carefully. Amos, Delphi. She makes to depart and then hesitates. She smiles at Albus. Delphi, we don't choose who we're related to. Amos isn't just my patient, he's my uncle, it's part of the reason I took the job at Upper Flagley. But that's made it difficult. It's tough to live with people stuck in the past, isn't it? Amos, Delphi. Albus, Upper Flagley. Delphi, St. Oswald's home for old witches and wizards. Come see us sometime. If you like. Amos, Delphi. She smiles and then trips as she travels down the stairs. She enters the room with Amos and Harry in it. Albus watches her. Delphi, yes, uncle. Amos, meet the once great Harry Potter, now a stone-cold ministry man. I will leave you in peace, sir. If peace is the right word for it. Delphi, my chair. Delphi, yes, uncle. Amos is pushed out of the room. Harry is left, looking forlorn. Albus watches on, thinking carefully. Act 1, Scene 7. Harry and Ginny Potter's house, Albus's room. Albus is sitting on the bed as the world goes on outside his door. Still against the constant motion outside. We hear a roar from James, off. Ginny, James, please, ignore your hair, and tidy that damn room. James, how can I ignore it? It's pink. I'm going to have to use my invisibility cloak. James appears at the door, he has pink hair. Ginny, that's not why your dad gave you that cloak. Lily, who's seen my potions book? Ginny, Lily Potter, don't think you're wearing those to school tomorrow. Lily appears at Albus's door. She's wearing fairy wings that flutter. Lily, I love them. They're fluttery. She exits as Harry appears in Albus's doorway. He looks through. Harry, hi. There's an awkward pause between them. Ginny appears in the doorway. She sees what's happening, she stays a moment. Just delivering a pre-Hogwarts gift, gifts, Ron sent this. Albus, okay. A love potion. Okay. Harry, I think it's a joke about, I don't know what. Lily got farting gnomes, James got a comb that's made his hair turn a shade of pink. Ron, well, Ron's Ron, you know. Harry puts down Albus's love potion on his bed. This is from me. He reveals a small blanket. Ginny looks at it, she sees Harry is trying, and then she softly walks away. Albus, an old blanket. Harry, I thought a lot about what to give you this year. James, well, James has been going on about the invisibility cloak since time itself. And Lily, I knew she'd love wings, but you. You're 14 years old now, Albus, and I wanted to give you something which meant something. This is the last thing I had from my mum. The only thing. I was given to the Dursleys wrapped in it. I thought it had gone forever, and then, when your great-aunt Petunia died, hidden amongst her possessions, surprisingly, Dudley found this and he kindly sent it on to me, and ever since then, well, anytime I've wanted luck I've found it and just tried to hold it, and I wondered if you, Albus, wanted to hold it too. Okay. Done. Let's hope it brings me luck. I certainly need some. He touches the blanket. But you should keep it. Harry, I believe, Petunia wanted me to have it, that's why she kept it, and now I want you to have it from me. I didn't really know my mother, but I think she'd have wanted you to have it too. And maybe, I could come find you, and it, on Hallows Eve. I'd like to be with it on the night they died, and that could be good for the two of us. Albus, listen, I've got quite a lot of packing to do, and you undoubtedly have ministry work coming out of your ears, so. Harry, Albus, I want you to have the blanket. Albus, and do what with it? Fairy wings make sense, Dad, invisibility cloaks, they also make sense, but this, really. Harry is slightly heartbroken. He looks at his son, desperate to reach out. Harry, do you want a hand? Packing. I always loved packing. It meant I was leaving Privet Drive and going back to Hogwarts. Which was, well, I know you don't love it, but. Albus, for you, it's the greatest place on earth. I know. The poor orphan, bullied by his uncle and Aunt Dursley. Harry, Albus, please, can we just. Albus, traumatized by his cousin, Dudley, saved by Hogwarts. I know it all, Dad. Blah, blah, blah. Harry, I'm not going to rise to your bait, Albus Potter. Albus, the poor orphan who went on to save us all. So may I say, on behalf of wizarding kind, how grateful we are for your heroism. Should we bow now or will a curtsy do? Harry, Albus, please, you know, I've never wanted gratitude. Albus, but right now I'm overflowing with it, it must be the kind gift of this moldy blanket that did it. Harry, moldy blanket. Albus, what did you think would happen? We'd hug. I'd tell you I always loved you. What? What? Harry, finally losing his temper, you know what? I'm done with being made responsible for your unhappiness. At least you've got a dad. Because I didn't, okay. Albus, and you think that was unlucky? I don't. Harry, you wish me dead. Albus, no. I just wish you weren't my dad. Harry, seeing red well, there are times I wish you weren't my son. There's a silence. Albus nods. Pause. Harry realizes what he said. No, I didn't mean that. Albus, yes. You did. Harry, Albus, you just know how to get under my skin. Albus, you meant it, Dad. And, honestly, I don't blame you. There's a horrible pause. You should probably leave me alone now. Harry, Albus, please. Albus picks up the blanket and throws it. It collides with Ron's love potion, which spills all over the blanket and the bed, producing a small puff of smoke. Albus, no luck or love for me, then. Albus runs out of the room. Harry goes after him. Harry, Albus. Albus. Please.
Note: for some reason we had to change the voice. Hope you all will enjoy this voice. Act 1, Scene 8. Dream, hut on the rock. There's a large boom. Then there's a large crash. Dudley Dudley, Aunt Petunia, and Uncle Vernon are cowering behind a bed. Dudley Dudley, Mum, I don't like this. Aunt Petunia, I knew we made a mistake coming here. Vernon, there's nowhere we can hide. Not even a lighthouse is far enough away. There's another large boom. Uncle Vernon, hold on. Whatever it is, it's not coming in here. Aunt Petunia, we're cursed. He's cursed us. The boy has cursed us. Seeing young Harry. This is all your fault. Get back in your hole. Young Harry flinches away as Uncle Vernon holds out his rifle. Uncle Vernon, whoever's there, I should warn you, I'm armed. There's a massive smash, and the door falls off its hinges. Hagrid stands in the middle of the doorway. He looks at them all. Hagrid, couldn't make us a cup, OT, could ya? It's not been an easy journey. Dudley Dudley, look at him. Uncle Vernon, stand back. Stand back. Behind me, Petunia. Behind me, Dudley. I'll soon see the scaramanger off. Hagrid, Scarrow what? He picks up Uncle Vernon's gun. Haven't seen one of these for a while. He twists the end of the gun and ties it in a knot. Oops-a-daisy. And then he gets distracted. He's seen young Harry. Harry Potter. Young Harry, hello. Hagrid. Last time I saw ya was only a baby. You look a lot like your dad, but you got your mum's eyes. Young Harry. You knew my parents? Hagrid. Where's me manners? A very happy birthday to ya. Got Summit Fair ya here. I might have sat on it at some point, but it'll taste all right. From inside his coat, he pulls a slightly squashed chocolate cake with Happy Birthday Harry written on it in green icing. Young Harry. Who are you? Hagrid, laughing true, I haven't introduced myself. Rubeus Hagrid, keeper of keys and grounds at Hogwarts. He looks around himself. What about that tea, then? I'd not say no to Summit Stronger if ye got it mind. Young Harry. Hogware? Hagrid. Hogwarts. Ye'll know all about Hogwarts. Oh, course. Young Harry. No. Sorry. Hagrid. Sorry? It's them as should be sorry. I knew ye weren't getting your letters, but I never thought ye wouldn't even know about Hogwarts. Fair crying out loud. Did ye never wonder where your parents learn it all? Young Harry. Learnt what? Hagrid turns menacingly towards Uncle Vernon. Hagrid. Do you mean to tell me that this boy, knows nothing about anything? Uncle Vernon. I forbid you to tell the boy anything more. Young Harry. Tell me what? Hagrid looks at Uncle Vernon and then at young Harry. Hagrid. Harry, you're a wizard, yet change everything. You're the most famous wizard in the whole world. And then, right from the back of the room, whispering around everyone, words said with an unmistakable voice. The voice of Voldemort. Harry Potter. Act 1, Scene 9. Harry and Ginny Potter's house bedroom. Harry wakes suddenly, breathing deeply in the night. He waits a moment, calming himself, and then he feels intense pain in his forehead, in his scar. Around him, dark magic moves. Ginny, Harry, it's fine. Go back to sleep. Ginny, Lumos. The room is filled with light from her wand. Harry looks at her. A nightmare? Harry, yes. Ginny, about what? Harry, the Dursleys. Well, it started there, then it became something else. Pause. Ginny looks at him, trying to work out where he is. Ginny, do you want a sleeping draft? Harry, no. I'll be fine. Go back to sleep. Ginny, you don't seem fine. Harry says nothing, seeing his agitation. It can't have been easy with Amos Diggory. Harry, the anger I can cope with. The fact he's right is harder. Amos lost his son because of me. Ginny, that doesn't seem particularly fair on yourself. Harry, and there's nothing I can say to anyone, unless it's the wrong thing, of course. Ginny knows what, or rather who, he's referring to. Ginny, so that's what's upsetting you? The night before Hogwarts. It's never a good night if you don't want to go. Giving Al the blanket. It was a nice try. Harry, it went pretty badly wrong from there. I said some things, Ginny. Ginny, I heard. Harry, and you're still talking to me? Ginny, because I know that when the time is right you'll say sorry, that you didn't mean it, that what you said concealed. Other things. You can be honest with him, Harry. That's all he needs. Harry, I just wish he was more like James or Lily. Ginny, yeah, maybe don't be that honest. Harry, no, I wouldn't change a thing about him. But I can understand them and... Ginny, Albus is different, and isn't that a good thing? And he can tell, you know, when you're putting on your Harry Potter front. He wants to see the real you. Harry, the truth is a beautiful and terrible thing, and should therefore be treated with great caution. Ginny looks at him, surprised. Dumbledore. Ginny, a strange thing to say to a child. Harry, not when you believe that child will have to die to save the world. Harry gasps again, and does all he can not to touch his forehead. Ginny, Harry, what's wrong? Harry, fine. I'm fine. I hear you. I'll try to be... Ginny, does your scar hurt? Harry, no. I'm fine. Now, nox that and let's get some sleep. Ginny, Harry, how long has it been since your scar hurt? Harry turns to Ginny. His face says it all. Harry, 22 years. Act 1, Scene 10. The Hogwarts Express. Albus walks quickly along the train. Rose. Albus, I've been looking for you. Albus, me? Why? Rose isn't sure how to phrase what she has to say. Rose. Albus, it's the start of the 4th year, and so the start of a new year for us. I want to be friends again. Albus, we never were friends. Rose, that's harsh. You were my best friend when I was 6. Albus, that was a long time ago. He makes to walk away. She pulls him into an empty compartment. Rose, have you heard the rumors? Big ministry raid a few days ago. Your dad apparently was incredibly brave. Albus, how do you always know about these things and I don't? Rose, apparently the wizard they raided, Theodore Knott, I think, had all sorts of artifacts that broke all sorts of laws, including, and this has got them all gooey in a legal time turner. And quite a superior one at that. Albus looks at Rose, everything falling into place. Albus, a time turner? Dad found a time turner? Rose! Sure, yes, I know. Great, right? Albus, you're sure? Rose, entirely. Albus, now I have to find Scorpius. He walks down the train. Rose follows, still determined to say her piece. Rose, Albus. Albus turns decisively. Albus, Who's told you that you have to talk to me? Rose, sprung okay. Maybe your mom owed my dad, but only because she's worried about you. And I just think, Albus, leave me alone, Rose. Scorpius is sitting in his usual compartment. Albus enters first, Rose still tailing him. Scorpius. Albus. Oh, hello. Rose. What do you smell of? Rose. What do I smell of? Scorpius. No, I meant it as a nice thing. You smell like a mixture of fresh flowers and fresh bread. Rose. Albus, I'm here, okay? If you need me. Scorpius. I mean nice bread, good bread. What's wrong with bread? Rose walks away, shaking her head. Rose. What's wrong with bread? Albus. I've been looking for you everywhere. Scorpius. And now you found me. Tada. I was hardly hiding. You know how I like to get on early. Stops people staring. Shouting. Writing. Son of Voldemort on my trunk. That one never gets old. She really doesn't like me, does she? Albus hugs his friend. With fierceness. They hold for a beat. Scorpius is surprised by this. Okay. Hello. Have we hugged before? Do we hug? The two boys awkwardly dislocate. Albus. Just a slightly weird 24 hours. Scorpius. What's happened in them? Albus. I'll explain later. We have to get off this train. There's the sound of whistles from off. The train starts moving. Scorpius. Too late. The train is moving. Hogwarts ahoy! Albus. Then we have to get off a moving train. Trolley which? Anything from the trolley, dears? Albus opens a window and makes to climb out. Scorpius. A moving magical train. Trolley which? Pumpkin pasty? Cauldron cake? Scorpius. Albus Severus Potter. Get that strange look out of your eye. Albus. First question. What do you know about the Triwizard Tournament? Scorpius. Happy-o, a quiz. 3 schools pick 3 champions to compete in 3 tasks for 1 cup. What's that got to do with? Anything? Albus. You really are an enormous geek. You know that? Scorpius. Yaha. Albus. Second question. Why has the Triwizard Tournament not been run in over 20 years? Scorpius. The last competition included your dad and a boy called Cedric Diggory. They decided to win together, but the cup was a portkey, and they were transported to Voldemort. Cedric was killed. They canceled the competition immediately after. Albus. Good. Third question. Did Cedric need to be killed? Easy question. Easy answer. No. The words Voldemort said were kill the spare. The spare. He died only because he was with my father, and my father couldn't save him. We can. A mistake has been made, and we're going to right it. We're going to use a time turner. We're going to bring him back. Scorpius. Albus. For obvious reasons, I'm not a massive fan of time turners. Albus. When Amos Diggory asked for the time turner, my father denied they even existed. He lied to an old man who just wanted his son back, who just loved his son. And he did it because he didn't care because he doesn't care. Everyone talks about all the brave things Dad did, but he made some mistakes too. Some big mistakes, in fact. I want to set one of those mistakes right. I want us to save Cedric. Scorpius. Okay, whatever was holding your brain together seems to have snapped. Albus. I'm going to do this, Scorpius. I need to do this. And you know as well as I do, I'll entirely mess it up if you don't come with me. Come on. He grins, and then disappears ever up. Scorpius hesitates for a moment. He makes a face, and then hoists himself up and disappears after Albus. Act 1. Scene 11. Roof of the Hogwarts Express. The wind whistles from all angles, and it's a fierce wind at that. Scorpius. Okay, now we're on the roof of a train. It's fast, it's scary. This has been great. I feel like I've learned a lot about me. Something about you, but... Albus. As I calculated, we should be approaching the viaduct soon, and then it'll be a short hike to St. Oswald's home for old witches and... wizards. Scorpius. The what? The where? Look, I am as excited as you are to be a rebel for the first time in my life. Yay, train roof, fun, but now, oh. Scorpius sees something he doesn't want to see. Albus. The water will be an extremely useful backup if our cushioning charm doesn't work. Scorpius. Albus. The trolley witch. Albus. You want a snack for the journey? Scorpius. No. Albus. The trolley which is coming towards us. Albus. No. She can't be. We're on top of the train. Scorpius points Albus in the right direction, and now he can see the trolley witch, who approaches nonchalantly, pushing her trolley. Trolley witch. Anything from the trolley, dears? Pumpkin pasty? Chocolate frog? Cauldron cake? Albus. Oh, trolley witch. People don't know much about me. They buy my cauldron cakes, but they never really notice me. I don't remember the last time someone asked my name. Albus. What is your name? Trolley witch. I've forgotten. All I can tell you is that when the Hogwarts Express first came to be, Adeline Gamble herself offered me this job. Scorpius. That's 190 years. You've been doing this job for 190 years. Trolley witch. These hands have made over 6 million pumpkin pasties. I've got quite good at them. But what people haven't noticed about my pumpkin pasties is how easily they transform into something else. She picks up a pumpkin pasty. She throws it like a grenade. It explodes. And you won't believe what I can do with my chocolate frogs. Never have I let anyone off this train before they reach their destination. Some have tried Sirius Black and his cronies, Fred and George Weasley. All have failed. Because this train IT doesn't like people getting off it. The trolley witch's hands transfigure into very sharp spikes. She smiles. So please retake your seats for the remainder of the journey. Albus. You were right, Scorpius. This train is magical. Scorpius. At this precise moment in time, I take no pleasure in being right. Albus. But I was also right about the viaduct that's watered down there. Time to try the cushioning charm. Scorpius. Albus. This is a bad idea. Albus. Is it? He has a moment's hesitation, then realizes the time for hesitation has passed. Too late now. 3, 2, 1. Maliar. He incants as he jumps. Scorpius. Albus. Albus. He looks down desperately after his friend. He looks at the approaching trolley witch. Her hair wild. Her spikes particularly spiky. Well, as fun as you clearly look, I have to go after my friend. He pinches his nose. He jumps after Albus, incanting as he goes. Maliar, Act 1, Scene 12. Ministry of Magic, Grand Meeting Room. The stage is flooded with wizards and witches. They rattle and chatter, like all true wizards and witches can. Amongst them, Ginny, Draco, and Ron. Above them, on a stage, Hermione and Harry. Hermione, order. Order. Do I have to conjure silence? She pulls silence from the crowd using her wand. Good. Welcome to this extraordinary general meeting. I'm so pleased so many of you could make it. The wizarding world has been living in peace now for many years. It's 22 years since we defeated Voldemort at the Battle of Hogwarts, and I'm delighted to say there's a new generation being brought up having known only the slightest conflict. Until now, Harry, Voldemort's allies have been showing movement for a few months now. We've followed trolls making their way across Europe, giants starting to cross the seas, and the werewolves. Well, I'm distressed to say we lost sight of them some weeks ago. We don't know where they're going or who's encouraged them to move, but we are aware they are moving, and we are concerned what it might mean. So, we're asking if anyone has seen anything, felt anything. If you could raise a wand, we will hear everyone speak. Professor McGonagall. Thank you. Professor M.C. Gonagall. It did look like the potion stores had been interfered with when we returned from summer break, but not a huge amount of ingredients were missing. Some boneslong skin and lacewing flies. Nothing on the restricted register. We put it down to Peeves. Hermione? Thank you, Professor. We shall investigate. She looks around the room. Nobody else? Fine, and gravest of all, and this hasn't been the case since Voldemort. Harry's scar is hurting again. There, so. Voldemort is dead. Voldemort is gone. Hermione. Yes, Draco. Voldemort is dead. But these things all lead us to think that there is a possibility that Voldemort, or some trace of Voldemort, might be back. This gets a reaction. Harry. Now this is difficult, but we have to ask it to rule it out. Those of you with a dark mark. Have you felt anything? Even a twinge? Draco. Back to being prejudiced against those with a dark mark. Are we, Potter? Hermione? No, Draco. Harry is simply trying to. Draco. You know what this is about? Harry just wants his face back in the newspapers again. We've had rumors of Voldemort coming back from the Daily Prophet once a year, every year. Harry, none of those rumors came from me. Draco, really? Doesn't your wife edit the Daily Prophet? Ginny steps towards him, outraged. Ginny, the sports pages. Hermione, Draco. Harry brought this matter to the attention of the ministry. And I, as Minister for Magic, Draco, a vote you only won because you are his friend. Ron is held back by Ginny as he charges at Draco. Ron, do you want a smack in the mouth? Draco, face it, his celebrity impacts upon you all. And how better to get everyone whispering the Potter name again than with, he doesn't, impression of Harry. My scar is hurting, my scar is hurting. And do you know what this all means? That the gossip mongers once again have an opportunity to defame my son with these ridiculous rumors about his parentage. Harry, Draco, no one is saying this has anything to do with Scorpius. Draco, well, I, for one, think this meeting is sham, and I'm leaving. He walks out. Others start to disperse after him. Hermione, no, that's not the way. Come back. We need a strategy. Act 1, Scene 13. St. Oswald's home for old witches and wizards. This is chaos. This is magic. This is St. Oswald's home for old witches and wizards, and it is as wonderful as you might hope. Walker frames are conjured into life. Knitting wool is enchanted into chaos, and male nurses are made to dance tango. These are people relieved of the burden of having to do magic for a reason. Instead, these witches and wizards do magic for fun. And what fun they have. Albus and Scorpius enter, looking around themselves amused and, let's face it, slightly scared. Albus and Scorpius. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Scorpius. Okay, so this place is wild. Albus. We're looking for Amos Diggory. There is suddenly total silence. Everything is instantly still and slightly depressed. Wool woman. And what you boys want with that miserable old sod? Delphi appears with a smile. Delphi. Albus? Albus. You came? How wonderful. Come and say hello to Amos. Act 1, Scene 14. St. Oswald's home for old witches and wizards. Amos's room. Amos looks at Scorpius and Albus. Irritated. Delphi watches the three of them. Amos. So let me get this straight. You overhear a conversation which was not meant for you to overhear, and you decide without prompting, in fact, without leave to interfere and interfere hard in someone else's business. Albus, my father lied to you. I know he did. They do have a time turner. Amos, of course they do. You can move along now. Albus, what? No. We're here to help. Amos, help? What use could a pair of undersized teenagers be for me? Albus, my father proves you don't have to be grown up to change the wizarding world. Amos, so I should allow you to get involved because you're a Potter? Relying on your famous name, are you? Albus, no. Amos, a Potter who is in Slytherin House. Yes, I've read about you, and who brings a Malfoy with him to visit me. A Malfoy who may be a Voldemort. Who's to say you're not involved in dark magic? Albus. But, Amos, your information was obvious, but the confirmation is useful. Your father did lie. Now leave, the pair of you, and stop wasting my time. Albus, with power and strength, no. You need to listen to me. You said it yourself. How much blood is on my father's hands? Let me help you change that. Let me help correct one of his mistakes. Trust me, Amos. His voice raised. Did you not hear me, boy? I see no reason to trust you. So go. Now. Before I make you leave. He raises his wand ominously. Albus looks at the wand. He deflates. Amos has crushed him. Scorpius. Come on, mate. If there's one thing we're good at, it's knowing where we're not wanted. Albus is reluctant to leave. Scorpius pulls him by the arm. He turns and they walk away. Delphi. I can think of one reason why you should trust them, Uncle. They stop. They're the only ones volunteering to help. They're prepared to bravely put themselves at risk to return your son to your side. In fact, I'm pretty sure they put themselves at risk even getting here. Amos. This is Cedric we're talking about. Delphi. And didn't you say yourself, having someone inside Hogwarts might be a massive advantage? Delphi kisses the top of Amos's head. Amos looks at Delphi, and then turns to look at the boys. Amos. Why? Why do you want to put yourself at risk? What's in it for you? Albus. I know what it is to be the spare. Your son didn't deserve to be killed, Mr. Diggory. We can help you get him back. Amos. Finally showing emotion, my son. My son was the best thing that ever happened to me. And you're right, it was an injustice. A gross injustice. If you're serious. Albus. We're deadly serious. Amos. This is going to be dangerous. Albus. We know. Scorpius. Do we? Amos. Delphi. Perhaps if you were prepared to accompany them? Delphi. If that would make you happy, Uncle. She smiles at Albus. He smiles back. Amos. You do understand even getting the time turner will risk your lives. Albus. We're ready to put our lives at risk. Scorpius. Are we? Amos. Gravely, I hope you have it in you. Act 1, Scene 15. Harry and Ginny Potter's house kitchen. Harry, Ron, Hermione, and Ginny sit eating together. Hermione. I've told Draco again and again, no one in the ministry is saying anything about Scorpius. The rumors aren't coming from us. Ginny. I wrote to him after he lost Astoria to ask if there's anything we could do. I thought maybe, as he was such a good friend to Albus, maybe Scorpius might want to stay over part of the Christmas break, or... My owl came back with a letter containing one simple sentence. Tell your husband to refute these allegations about my son once and for all. Hermione. He's obsessed. Ginny. He's a mess. A grieving mess. Ron. And I'm sorry for his loss, but when he accuses Hermione of, well, he looks across at Harry. Oi, droopy drawers. Like I say to her all the time, it could be nothing. Hermione, her? Ron. The trolls could be going to a party. The giants to a wedding. You could be getting bad dreams because you're worried about Albus. And your scar could be hurting because you're getting old. Harry. Getting old? Thanks, mate. Ron. Honestly, every time I sit down now I make an oof noise. An oof. And my feet. The trouble I'm having with my feet. I could write songs about the pain my feet give me. Maybe your scar is like that. Ginny. You talk a lot of rubbish. Ron. I consider it my speciality. That, and my range of skiving snack boxes. And my love for all of you. Even skinny Ginny. Ginny. If you don't behave, Ronald Weasley, I will tell Mum. Ron, you wouldn't. Hermione. If some part of Voldemort survived, in whatever form, we need to be prepared. And I'm scared. Ginny, I'm scared too. Ron, nothing scares me. Apart from Mum. Hermione. I mean it, Harry. I will not be Cornelius Fudge on this one. I will not stick my head in the sand. And I don't care how unpopular that makes me with Draco Malfoy. Ron, you never really were one for popularity, were you? Hermione shoots Ron a withering look as she aims to hit him, but Ron jumps out of the way. Missed. Ginny hits Ron. Ron winces. Hit. A very solid hit. Suddenly an owl is in the room. It swoops in low and drops a letter on Harry's plate. Hermione! Bit late for an owl, isn't it? Harry opens the letter. Surprised. Harry, it's from Professor McGonagall. Ginny, what does it say? Harry's face drops. Harry, Ginny, it's Albus and Scorpius. They never made it to school. They're missing. Act 1, Scene 16. Whitehall cellar. Scorpius is squinting at a bottle. Scorpius. So we just take it? Albus. Scorpius. Do I really need to explain to you, Ubergeek and potions expert, what polyjuice does? Thanks to Delphi's brilliant preparation work, we are going to take this potion and be transformed. And thus disguised, we will be able to enter the Ministry of Magic. Scorpius. Okay, 2 points. 1, is it painful? Delphi, very, as I understand it. Scorpius. Thank you. Good to know. 2nd point. Do either of you know what polyjuice tastes of? Because I've heard it tastes of fish, and if it does, I will just vomit it back up. Fish doesn't agree with me. Never has. Never will. Delphi, consider us warned. She knocks back the potion. It doesn't taste of fish. She begins to transform. It's agonizing. Actually, it tastes quite pleasant, yum. It is painful, but... She burps loudly. Take it back. There is a slight. She burps again. She turns into Hermione. Slight, overpowering, fishy residue. Albus. Okay, that's wow. Scorpius. Double wow. Delphi / Hermione. This really doesn't feel how I even sound like her. Triple wow. Albus, right? Me next. Scorpius. No. No way, Jose. If we're doing this, we're doing it. He puts on a pair of familiar-looking glasses with a smile. Together. Albus. 3, 2, 1. They swallow. No, that's good. He's racked with pain. That's less good. They both start to transform, and it's agonizing. Albus turns into Ron, Scorpius into Harry. The two look at each other. There's a silence. Albus / Ron. This is going to be slightly weird, isn't it? Scorpius / Harry, full of drama. He's really enjoying this. Go to your room. Go straight to your room. You've been an incredibly awful and bad son. Albus / Ron, with a laugh. Scorpius. Scorpius / Harry, tossing his cloak over his shoulder. Was your idea. I be him, and you be Ron. I just want to have a little fun before I... And then he burps loudly. Okay, so that's utterly horrible. Albus / Ron. You know, he hides it well, but Uncle Ron's got a bit of a gut growing. Delphi / Hermione. We should go, don't you think? They emerge onto the street. They enter a telephone box. They dial. 62,442. Telephone box. Welcome, Harry Potter. Welcome, Hermione Granger. Welcome, Ron Weasley. They smile as the telephone box disappears into the floor. Act 1, Scene 17. Ministry of Magic meeting room. Harry, Hermione, Ginny, and Draco pace around a small room. Draco, have we searched thoroughly beside the tracks? Harry, my department have searched once and are searching again. Draco, and the trolley which is not able to tell us anything useful? Hermione, the trolley which is furious. She keeps talking about letting down Adeline Gamble. She prides herself on her Hogwarts delivery record. Ginny, have there been any instances of magic reported by the Muggles? Hermione, none so far. I have made the Muggle Prime Minister aware, and he is filing what is known as a MISPR. Sounds like a spell. It isn't. Draco, so now we're relying on Muggles to find our children? Have we told them about Harry's scar too? Hermione, we're merely asking the Muggles to help. And who knows how Harry's scar might be involved, but it's certainly a matter we're taking seriously. Our Aurors are currently investigating anyone involved in dark magic and... Draco, this is not Death Eater related. Hermione, I'm not sure I share your confidence. Draco, I'm not confident I'm right. The sort of cretins pursuing dark magic now. My son is a Malfoy. They wouldn't dare. Harry, unless there's something new out there, something to... Ginny, I agree with Draco. If this is a kidnap, taking Albus I understand, taking them both. Harry locks eyes with Ginny. It becomes clear what she wants him to say. Draco, and Scorpius is a follower, not a leader, despite everything I've tried to instill in him. So it's undoubtedly Albus who got him from that train, and my question is, where would he take him? Ginny, Harry, they've run away, you and I know it. Draco notices a couple staring at each other. Draco, do you know it? What aren't you telling us? There's a silence. Whatever information you're concealing, I recommend you share it now. Harry, Albus and I had an argument the day before last. Draco and... Harry hesitates and then makes brave eye contact with Draco. Harry, and I told him that there were times when I wished he weren't my son. There's another silence, a profoundly powerful one. And then Draco takes a dangerous step towards Harry. Draco, if anything happens to Scorpius... Ginny steps in between Draco and Harry. Ginny, don't throw around threats, Draco. Please don't do that. Draco, roar my son is missing. Ginny, an equal roar, so is mine. He meets her look. There's real emotion in this room. Draco, lip curling, every inch is father if you need gold. Everything the Malfoys have. He's my sole heir. He's my only family. Hermione, the Ministry has plenty in reserve. Thank you, Draco. Draco makes to leave. He stops. He looks at Harry. Draco, I don't care what you did or who you saved. You are a constant curse on my family, Harry Potter. Act 1, Scene 18. Ministry of Magic corridor. Scorpius/Harry. And you're sure it's in there? A guard walks past. Scorpius/Harry and Delphi/Hermione try to affect performances. Yes, Minister. I definitely think this is a matter for the Ministry to ponder at length, yes. Guard with a gnawed Minister. Delphi/Hermione. Let's ponder it together. He walks on. They let out a sigh of relief. It was my uncle's idea to use the Veritasrum. We slipped it into a visiting ministry official's drink. He told us that the time turner had been kept and even told us where the office of the Minister for Magic herself. She indicates a door. Suddenly, they hear a noise. Hermione from off Harry. We should talk about it. Harry from off there's nothing to talk about. Delphi/Hermione. Oh no. Albus/Ron. Hermione. And Dad. The panic is instant and infectious. Scorpius/Harry. Okay. Hiding places. No hiding places. Anyone know any invisibility charms? Delphi/Hermione. Do we go? In her office? Albus/Ron. She'll be coming to her office. Delphi/Hermione. There's nowhere else. She tries the door. She tries it again. Hermione from off if you don't talk to me or Ginny about it. Scorpius/Harry. Stand back. Alohomora. He aims his wand at the door. The door swings open. He grins delighted. Albus. Block her. It has to be you. Harry. From off what is there to say? Albus/Ron me. Why? Delphi/Hermione. Well, it can't be either of us, can it? We are them. Hermione. From off what you said was obviously wrong, but there are more factors at play here than Albus/Ron, but I can't. I can't. There's a small kerfuffle, and then Albus/Ron ends up standing outside the door as Hermione and Harry enter from off. Harry. Hermione. I'm grateful for your concern, but there's no need. Hermione, Ron. Albus/Ron. Surprise. Hermione. What are you doing here? Albus/Ron. Does a man need an excuse to see his wife? He kisses Hermione firmly. Harry. I should go. Hermione, Harry. My point is, whatever Draco says, the things you said to Albus. I don't think it'll do any of us any good for you to dwell on it. Albus/Ron. Oh, you're talking about how Harry said sometimes he wished he corrects himself, Albus weren't his son. Hermione, Ron. Albus/Ron. Better out than in, that's what I say. Hermione, he'll know. We all say stuff we don't mean. He knows that. Albus/Ron. But what if sometimes we say stuff we do mean? What then? Hermione. Ron, now's not the time, honestly. Albus/Ron. Of course it isn't. Bye-bye, darling. Albus/Ron watches her go, hopeful she'll walk past her office and away. But of course she doesn't. He runs to block her before she enters through her door. He blocks her once, and then blocks her again, swinging his hips to do so. Hermione, why are you blocking the entrance to my office? Albus/Ron, I'm not blocking anything. She again makes for the door. He blocks her again. Hermione, you are. Let me into my room, Ron. Albus/Ron, let's have another baby. Hermione tries to dodge past him. Hermione, what? Albus/Ron, or if not another baby, a holiday. I want a baby or a holiday, and I'm going to insist on it. Shall we talk about it later, honey? She tries to get into the room one final time. He blocks her with a kiss. It develops into quite a struggle. Maybe with a drink in the leaky cauldron? Love you. Hermione, relenting if there is another stink pellet in there, then Merlin won't help you. Fine. We're due to update the muggles anyway. She exits. Harry exits with her. Albus/Ron turns towards the door. She re-enters, this time alone. A baby or a holiday? Some days you're off the scale. You know that? Albus/Ron. It's why you married me, isn't it? My puckish sense of fun. She exits again. He starts to open the door, but again she re-enters. He slams it closed. Hermione, I can taste fish. I told you to stay away from those fish finger sandwiches. Albus/Ron. Right you are. She exits. He checks she's gone, and the relief floods out of him as he opens the door. Act 1, Scene 19. Ministry of Magic, Hermione's office. Scorpius/Harry and Delphi/Hermione are waiting on the other side of Hermione's office door as Albus/Ron enters. He slumps, exhausted. Albus/Ron. This is all too weird. Delphi/Hermione. You were impressive. Good blocking action. Scorpius/Harry. I don't know whether to high-five you or frown at you for kissing your aunt about 500 times. Albus/Ron. Ron's an affectionate guy. I was trying to distract her. Scorpius. I did distract her. Scorpius/Harry. And then there's what your dad said. Delphi/Hermione, boys. She'll be back. We don't have long. Albus/Ron. To Scorpius/Harry, you heard that? Delphi/Hermione. Where would Hermione hide a time turner? She looks around the room. She sees the bookcases. Search the bookcases. They start to search. Scorpius/Harry looks at his friend, concerned. Scorpius/Harry. Why didn't you tell me? Albus/Ron. My dad says he wishes I weren't his son. Hardly a conversation starter, is it? Scorpius/Harry tries to work out what to say. Scorpius/Harry. I know the Voldemort thing isn't true, and but sometimes I think I can see my dad thinking, how did I produce this? Albus/Ron. Still better than my dad. I'm pretty sure he spends most of his time thinking, how can I give him back? Delphi/Hermione tries to pull Scorpius/Harry towards the bookshelves. Delphi/Hermione. Maybe if we could concentrate on the matter at hand. Scorpius/Harry. My point is, there's a reason we're friends, Albus. A reason we found each other, and whatever this adventure is about. Then he spots a book on the shelf that makes him frown. Have you seen the books on these shelves? There are some serious books here. Banned books. Cursed books. Albus/Ron. How to distract Scorpius from difficult emotional issues. Take him to a library. Scorpius/Harry. All the books from the restricted section, and then some. Magic most evil. 15th century fiends. Sonnets of a sorcerer. That's not even allowed in Hogwarts. Albus/Ron. Shadows and Spirits. The Nightshade Guide to Necromancy. Delphi/Hermione. They are quite something, aren't they? Albus/Ron. The True History of the Opal Fire. The Imperia's Curse and How to Abuse It. Scorpius/Harry. And looky here. Whoa. My Eyes and How to See Past Them by Sybil Trelawney. A book on divination. Hermione Granger. Hates divination. This is fascinating. This is a find. He pulls the book from the shelf, and it falls open and speaks. Book. The first is the fourth, a disappointing mark. You'll find it in Park, but not in Park. Scorpius/Harry. Okay, a book that talks. Bit weird. Book. The second is the less fair of those that walk on two legs. Grubby. Harry. A disease of the egg. And the third is both a mountain to climb and a route to take. Albus/Ron. It's a riddle. It's giving us a riddle. Book. A turn in the city. A glide through a lake. Delphi/Hermione. What have you done? Scorpius/Harry. I opened a book. Something which has, in all my years on this planet, never been a particularly dangerous activity. The books reach out and grab Albus/Ron. He only just eludes their grasp. Albus/Ron. What is that? Delphi/Hermione. She's weaponized it. She's weaponized her library. This is where the time turner will be. Solve the riddle and we'll find it. Albus/Ron. The first is the fourth. You'll find it in Part, not in Park. The books start to try to swallow Delphi/Hermione. Scorpius/Harry. The second is a disease of the egg, the less fair of those who walk on two legs. Delphi/Hermione. Effusively men. Demen. Tors. We need to find a book on Dementors. The bookcase pulls her in. Albus. Albus/Ron. Delphi. What is going on? Scorpius/Harry. Concentrate, Albus. Do what she said. Find a book on Dementors and be very careful. Albus/Ron. Here. Dominating Dementors. A True History of Azkaban. The book flies open and swings dangerously at Scorpius/Harry, who has to dodge out of the way. He falls hard against a bookcase, which attempts to consume him. Book. I was born in a cage, but smashed it with rage. The gaunt inside me riddled me free of that which would stop me to be. Albus/Ron. Voldemort. Delphi plunges through the books, back as herself. Delphi. Work faster. She's pulled back in, screaming. Albus/Ron. Delphi. Delphi. He tries to grab her hand, but she's gone. Scorpius/Harry. She become herself again. Did you notice? Albus/Ron. No, because I was more worried about her being eaten by a bookcase. Find something, anything on him. He finds a book. The heir of Slytherin, do you think? He pulls the book from the shelf. It pulls back. Albus/Ron is consumed by the bookcase. Scorpius/Harry. Albus? Albus. But Albus/Ron is gone. Okay, not that. Voldemort. 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 He scans the shelves. Marvolo. The truth, this must be. He pulls it open. Again it swings away, revealing a splintering light, and a deeper voice than previously heard. Book. I am the creature you have not seen. I am you. I am me. The echo unforeseen. Sometimes in front, sometimes behind, a constant companion, for we are entwined. Albus emerges from the books. As himself again. Scorpius/Harry. Albus. He tries to grab him. Albus. No. Just Think. Albus is violently pulled back into the bookcase. Scorpius/Harry. But I can't. An invisible echo. What is that? The only thing I'm good at is thinking, and when I need to think, I can't. The books pull him inside them. He's powerless. This is terrifying. There's silence. Then bang. A shower of books are released from the bookcase, and Scorpius reemerges, smashing the books aside. Scorpius, no, you don't. Sybil Trelawney, no. He looks around, sunk but full of energy. This is all wrong. Albus, can you hear me? All this for a frigging time turner. Think, Scorpius. Think. Books try and grab him. A constant companion. Sometimes behind. Sometimes in front. Hang on. I've missed it. Shadow. You're a shadow. Shadows and spirits. It must be. He climbs up the bookcase, which is horrifying as it rises up at him, grabbing at him with his every step. He pulls the book from the shelf. It comes out, and the noise and chaos suddenly stop. Is that? Suddenly there's a smashing, and Albus and Delphi fall out of the shelves and down to the floor. We beat it. We beat the library. Albus. Delphi, are you? Delphi? Wow. Quite a ride. Albus notices the book Scorpius is holding to his chest. Albus. Is that? Scorpius? What's inside that book? Delphi. I think we should find out, don't you? Scorpius opens the book. In the center of it, a spinning time turner. Scorpius. We've found the time turner. I never thought we'd get this far. Albus. Mate, now we've got this. The next stop is saving Cedric. Our journey has only just begun. Scorpius. Only just begun, and it's almost half killed us. Good. This is going to be good. Whispers rise to a roar, and we cut to black.